Alright guys, what's up? It's Jay and we're back at it again. Back on Willamina Forest. We've done quite a bit of work since the last recording. Spent quite a bit of time working on the road here, so now it's all clear. Leading from the farm to the sell points to the mill. I went and fetched the log winch, obviously, and we did a lot of that and worked out everything. And it just turns out to be much better to just winch the logs rather than cut them up and try to transport them that way. So that's what we've been doing. Gonna be working on the next leg of the journey. We'll take a look at the map here in a second. But that'll pretty much be between the sawmill to the shop, and of course that includes the gas station. And the reason for that is we need to bring in heavy equipment, mainly because I just don't think I really want to spend the time to clear land with this particular setup. It works fine for these roads, you know. It still takes a while, but it would take a while to do a full-on field. So we're going to use the same method we've been working with up until now to clear this particular road, which leads all the way, we'll hold this back up, all the way to the shop. Oh boy. I'll just focus on the gas station to the sawmill, and then what I might do is next episode we'll lease a buncher and do the shop to the gas station, and then pull all the logs, hopefully. It's going to be a little tight with the buncher in there unless I cut a really wide path. In that case, that would take a lot of work. Now on the upside, we started with about 32 grand, I think. And after selling all the logs, or most of the logs from the road that we've cleared so far, we're up to 151. So we're doing good. We've got money in the bank. That was one thing I was a little concerned about going into these episodes. But once we started selling things, it was like, alright, this is pretty easy. We'll have enough money for our starting farm equipment once we get our first round of fields up. And while that stuff grows, we can go off and do logging. Clear more fields, yada yada. Farming won't be making a lot of money for us until we get some serious land opened up. Yeah, and just like this, we cut them. We strip the limbs off here, and then winch them all up and pull them right into the sell point and sell it. Easy peasy. Done in a 1-2. It's, you know, pretty quick. It's a little difficult on that other side because there's a pretty steep hill, and when we were pulling logs up from the farm side there, it was kind of rough. But once you get them over the top there, it's a pretty easy pull from there on into the sell point. This will be a little bit more difficult just because we're gonna have to turn them around and pull them in. But I don't imagine it'll cause us like too much hassle. The main thing here is to get it wide enough that we can drive the buncher through. I'm not gonna bother leasing a flatbed or anything like that. I'm just gonna walk it in. Maybe pick up a few trees as we walk it in, anything that I miss. I don't imagine it being too thick here. If I just get the stuff that's right next to this on and around the path, we should be good. Alright. Oh, come on. We could probably even fit the buncher through without cutting down any trees, but yeah, I still have to clean the road anyways. So we might as well do this. Ooh. I came down a little hard. Alright. We're about halfway already. Again, the long part is hauling all the trees. I really wish I had thought of this first when I cut the trees back for the other part of the path there, because then I would have... there's still a few, if you hadn't noticed, that I pushed back, and they're in places that are just annoying to pull them out. So I'll get them when I cut those areas into fields. It's no big. Or I'll come back with a chipper and I'll pull up the small ones, that kind of stuff. These, I'm not making the same mistake with this road. We're doing this by hand, and we're doing it with the winch. Make it real easy. Alright, so it looks like we have a hill on this part as well. Which is, I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. It might be bad though. It's hard to say. One thing I've been struggling with here is looking for some good, relatively flat land. The big thing is not so much that it's flat, is that if it is on a hill, that it's a consistent incline, so that there's no divots or kinks in the surface, because that'll really kill a field, make it difficult to work. And I want to try to get them as rectangular as possible, and with the cardinal directions, so that I can use AI on them, because I think that would make this give this series some serious longevity in terms of the farming side of things. Alright, so this is the top of the hill. It actually looks pretty decent going down here. It doesn't look like there's too many trees on the path, except for just up here. May have to widen it, but who knows. The big thing that's going to be annoying is the stumps. We're going to have to cut them off sideways on a diagonal to allow us to pull logs without any issues. But yeah, no, it looks fine. Other than this one, and I don't know, I'll probably cut that one. This is probably not going to be the last time I work on the roads. We're definitely going to make them wider at some point and make them proper and flat and smooth them out, all that. We might as well get this one too. But we'll do that at a later point, and we'll use proper equipment. Alright. Cut that back. Anything else looks too close? No, that looks good. Grab you. We'll grab you. And probably this one, and that should be fine. I'm also getting rid of trees that are really occluding into the road because just because of visibility. There we go. Yeah, this is a pretty lazy way to log, but when you're this close to the mill, you might as well. And if you don't have very many turns, it works nicely. And I figure since we're still fairly early on and don't have quite enough equipment, it'll be fine. Once I get a little further away, it becomes not exactly viable. Alright. Do this one real quick, and I think that should be all the pieces we need to do in terms of cutting. We'll probably later on we'll take these, but that should have more than enough room for the buncher to go through. It's decently flat, you know, it's open. We're good. Oh, I forgot one. Go figure. There we go. So now the trick is to just tow all of this into the sell point. Boom, boom. Should I take this one as well? Yeah, I'll take this one. Nah, it's fine. We're good. So that's all the cutting and processing done. Oh. Might as well just cut the end off here. There we go. I think that's everything. So we only have a handful. Oh, we gotta turn the winch on. So the best way I found to do this is you park your vehicle and you winch them in real close, and you winch in a couple logs like this, and it you can cinch them up. You can get a good 4 or 5 logs done nicely. And if you get any coincidence like this where, you know, they start touching, you know it's a good pull. Do that. We'll do... Let's see if we can go for some big uns. And we'll grab this one as well. Not exactly... Ooh, come on. Yeah, not exactly perfect, but what we can do is like that. And we'll pull those... Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Usually that little notch there from the chainsaw is enough, but you sometimes have to cut it again like that. It happens, but, you know, not always. If you're really not cutting them close enough to the ground, then it'll happen a lot. Mainly when you're driving, I find. And we'll get that one off to the side there, and that should be pretty close to the max tow capacity of this tractor. Tractor's only 65 horsepower, I think, so we'll be upgrading it soon once we get into the farming, but it works fine for logs. Like, I wouldn't pull any more than this with even with a powerful tractor, I don't think. This doesn't make any sense. Alright, and then we'll take this, we'll just inch it forward. You don't want them right up on the shield. All sorts of wacky physics happen. There. Nice and lined up. This will get us a couple grand. And we just rinse and repeat from this point on. So I'm gonna time-lapse this and we'll be good to go. And I'll see you guys in a bit. But first, before we do that, let's sell these, see how much we make. Alright. First bit of logs off the second road here. 66.77. That's and now you can see why we're making so much money off of the roads and clearing them, because these are good long straight pieces of wood. They're definitely worth a bit. All right, so I'll see you guys in a bit, and enjoy the show. Alright, and with that, that's the last of the logs that need to be lynched for this particular section. So, all that's really left is to grind down all the stumps, but I'll leave that for later. I might actually do that when I'm walking in the buncher, which is at which point that's at the point at which we'll start looking to clear some fields. And also add to the house area. We need to add, I'm thinking of adding, well, obviously a mechanic's shop is a good starting point, but also I'm thinking, what was the other thing? Damn, I don't even remember. Mechanic shop's the most important thing that we have to add right now. Maintaining machines is very crucial. Because if you don't do that, then they're just gonna lose power and become inefficient and just terrible, quite frankly. So yeah, that's a thing. But we should have time to do all of that in the next episode. And with that, I'd like to ask you, if you want to see more, definitely subscribe and like the video. And as always, have a good one.